amounted to 58.20 billion. East West Rural Bank of East West Banking with 140,019 granted loans amounted to 27.061 billion. One Network Rural Bank of BDO with 93,834 granted loans in the amount of 14.680 billion. First Consolidated Bank with 80,276 granted loans in the amount of 7.250 billion, and Philippine Resource Savings Bank, which was acquired by City Savings Bank, has 35,799 granted loans in the amount of 5.03 billion. The amount of 112.66 billion that have been poured to the teachers have made them awash with debts. Instead of alleviating their financial condition, it has actually aggravated their woes. With the acquisition by the City Savings Bank of Philippine Resources Banking Corporation this January 2018, City Savings Bank's loan exposure to DepEd alone amounts to a staggering 60 billion pesos. As such, this presentation strongly believes that the indirect participation of big banks through their thrift and rural conduits have led to the commercialization of our teachers' need and primary right to borrow. This representation is also disheartened to discover that the teaching and non-teaching personnel of DepEd in Region 5 have an aggregated and deducted obligation amounting to 200 million pesos from loans in private lending institutions. The prevalence of PLIs and the collection to be deducted from the salaries of our teachers have risen since 2013. The comparative payroll data of DepEd shows that from an aggregate amount of 300 million pesos payables for PLIs or private lending institution in June of 2013, our teachers now have a staggering amount of obligation in the amount of 597 million pesos in December 2017. This is only in Region 5. Adding up all salary deductions, the mandatory GSIS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig contribution, along with taxes, GOCC loans, and insurances, the average take-home pay of a teacher in the Bicol region alone is only 20% of their total take-home pay. Reports from online news media, Madam Speaker, state that a public school teachers group in the Bicol region complained that teachers in the region receive less than 1,000 pesos from their monthly salaries after being deducted of their loans from private lending institutions. This resulted from the unabated participation of many private lending institutions that aim to commercialize and profit from teachers who are in dire need of financial assistance. The deduction of such obligations in the salaries of our teachers should not exceed 50% of their basic salaries. Problema, Madam Speaker, ang ibang sektor na problema tungkol sa access of credit. Dito naman po, pagdating po sa ating mga guro, sobra-sobra ang pautang. While we note that the department's effort to address the problem, the present policy alternatives by the department are still inefficient to solve the immediate and long-term problems of our teachers. The financial problem that plague our teachers will continue unless our public school teachers are provided with the appropriate tools and policy interventions that are comprehensive, well-rounded, and relevant to properly address the issue of indebtedness among our public school teachers. This being said, Madam Speaker, this representation would like to use this opportunity to present some solution which can help our public school teachers. First, the queuing system implemented by the department and the salary deduction scheme is detrimental for the financial well-being of public school teachers, as loan penalties are already charged to the monthly payslips of teachers, even if the regular deduction schedule in the salaries of public school teachers have not started. The first-in, first-served queuing system protects the interests of private lenders as it guarantees loan payments even if the payments are not paid on time. This system only increases the obligation paid by school teachers due to the compounded interest in addition to the large penalties and other fees charged by lending companies to their principal loan. The concept behind this system therefore veers away from the culture of self-restraint in relation to public school teachers' borrowings, which has been institutionalized by previous DepEd administrations to prevent public school teachers from overborrowing. Secondly, as this representation earlier stressed, Madam